Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Goranitai, 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 Jaya Goranitai, Jaya Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Pancha Tattva, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladev, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Radha, Shadvi Hari, Radha, Shadvi Hari, Radhe, Radha, Shadvi Hari, Radha, Shadvi Hari, Radhe, Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Okay, are we ready? Hare Krishna. So this morning we're going to continue with our reading from a Japa Reform Notebook. But as I promised you last week, before we do anything, I think it's better that we chant Hare Krishna together. The real mission that has brought us together is that we're finding a need to improve our chanting, to improve our japa. And in improving our japa, we want to hear better, we want to pay attention, but we want to remain conscious. We want to remain aware of just what we're doing for 2 hours or so every day. As you know, it's been explained that we can go on for millennium chanting, mechanically and not getting the result that comes from chanting the holy name. Or right now we can put our foot down and say, no, I don't want this. I want to chant the real name, the pure name. For starters, I don't want to chant offensively, but I want to change the trajectory of my life. And so that's what has brought us together. And in reforming our japa, I think we should look at some of the benedictions that we have. The first thing is that we're trying to mend the broken relationship, and the opportunity is so there, it's so open. By the grace of the spiritual master, we have the name, we have Krishna, we have the ability to call out and ask him to engage us in his service. And to the extent that we really want that, then we call him with some sincerity, which is actually all that's being asked of us, that we bring a little sincerity to the table. And I'm reflecting on the fact that Krishna knows us. No matter what anyone else thinks about us, Krishna perfectly knows us. And he knows that we have this, that although we say we want to reestablish the relationship, and yeah, we want love of God, he knows that we have the propensity to fall into illusion and to make mistakes, to cheat. all these things. But don't look at this bad, because this is a part of our problem. This is a part of our package as being conditioned souls. He's quite aware of that. So it's not like this is being held against us. In spite of this, Krishna is really trying to connect with us. And he's given us the methodology which would enable us to attain a different result. But as I said, we have to want it. So what do we have? We have Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada has so nicely come here to make sure that the name could be given to us. That Lord Chaitanya's mission would be established here in the Western world. And then we have Lord Chaitanya. And I've been reflecting, because I've been reading a book on Lord Chaitanya. I've been reflecting a lot on him. And the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, I just can't express it. You know, we know the prayer, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate, that he's the most magnificent manifestation of the Supreme Lord. In other words, the mercy, the compassion, the eagerness to give us love of God that is being manifest from Lord Chaitanya is unparalleled. And the more we look at Lord Chaitanya, we can see that even if we feel as though we don't have a relationship with Radha and Krishna, that just by taking shelter of Lord Chaitanya, Radha and Krishna are there in the personification of him. But he's teaching us by his example to be a servant of the Supreme Lord. And he's God. So it's pretty intense with Lord Chaitanya. And the Panchatattva are making all facility. They're assisting Lord Chaitanya. I also am reflecting on Lord Chaitanya's mission. And I remember the Shashastika. And it's all there, the process, the effects which will come from chanting the holy name purely. Um, he's made arrangements. He's invested all of his potencies in the holy names. There's not really He's not really making a bar high. There's not really hard and fast rules for chanting it. But being conscious also as we are, we don't really have a deep attraction for him. But Srila Prabhupada said the third Shashastika prayer we should wear like a garland around our neck. And that is Trinada Pisuna Chena Toro Pisu Hishtuna Amanena Manadena Kirtaniya Sadadari. Try chanting the holy name in a humble state of mind. Just keep an awareness of who we are and who we're dealing with, and in our most quiet moments where we've come to. And if we have the guts to look at that for just a moment, then humility is going to manifest. If we can really take a raw look at, eternal servants of God struggling with this material body and the senses in this material world. So this isn't meant to give us a feeling of negativity. This is meant to be very positive. It's nothing like being aware of who we are and what our situation is. Now the sun is shining. The sun is, the holy name has arisen. That is the sun. And if we take the holy name and try to quit committing the offenses, and in this book, we're going to hit those 10 offenses. If we stop that, then at least we can get the shadow. And Satri Raj speaks about Namabha so much here. But really, if you're really thirsty, might as well go for it. And we're going for really being able to chant the holy name. And there's a lot of things that have to take place in order for us to chant that pure name. But Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, they are so trying to help us. They just want to know that this time we're sincere. So I think I've said as much as I want to say. So remember, we are going to chant this morning. It's 8:11. Let's chant till about 8:30, 8:32. So, Sri Krishna. One thing I want you to do before we chant is I want you to just calm down, get yourself together. Whatever you're doing, stop. Don't this time. Let's not do multitask. Let's remember that we're about to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we're serious this morning. We're asking Him to use us, to engage us in His service. One can know me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service, He says. And when one is in union with me through such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. So many benedictions are laced into the fact that that relationship is so dependent on our devotional engagement. And our petitioning Krishna and glorifying Krishna when we chant, that is what is enabling us to be engaged, in His service. So we mean it. And as we mean it, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Actually, a lot of times He goes much further than we could ever imagine. Um, so that is our meditation this morning. I've got a couple rounds that there's nothing else that can bother me. It's my time with Radha and Krishna. And I'm going to give it the very best I have. Okay? Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivatari, Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Mother, you're going to unmute them and we're going to chant together. Hare Krishna, Hare
Feel free to
Krishna,
unmute
Krishna
yourself.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I don't think I'm muted. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare
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 Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare Hare.
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna.
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
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 Hare, Ram Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Hare
Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Ram, Ram Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
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 Ram Ram,
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram, Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna,
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare Hare,
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram Ram.
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare
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 Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare
Rama
Ram
Rama Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram
Ram Ram Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Ram Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Krishna Hare
Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Ram, Hare Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Hare Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram.
Krishna Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Hare
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 Krishna,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram
Hare
Ram.
Ram,
Hare
Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram Ram, Hare
Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Ram Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
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 Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Ram Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare 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 Ram, Hare Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram Ram, Hare Krishna,
Rama Rama
Hare
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 Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Ram, Hare
Krishna
Ram, Ram
Krishna
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare
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 Krishna,
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Ram Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Krishna
Hare Ram Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare Rama
Rama,
Ram
Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare
Hare
Rama,
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare, Ram Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Rama,
Chaitanya Krishna
Hare Hare, Krishna
Hare Hare Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Ram Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Rama,
Ram
Rama
Ram
Hare
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 Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare
Hare Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
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 Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare Rama Ram
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Ram Ram
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna,
Hare Hare Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare, Krishna
Hare
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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Hare Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare Ram
Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare
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 Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Hare Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama
Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare Hare.
Ram, Hare
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 Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Ram, Hare
Okay.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare Krishna. I hope you had as good of a time as I had. I had a wonderful time trying to keep myself focused to worship the Supreme Lord, begging and petitioning for relationship. We'll get into that later. So now we're going to hear from the Japa Reform Notebook, His Holiness Satrup Das Goswami. Drona, I'm going to start on page 10. First paragraph where it says Hari, where it says, "Oh Krishna." Okay.
In the book, it's in my book, it's 22, just so other people may.
You say what?
In my book, if you have the soft bound book, it's page 22.
Page, page
You're right.
22.
That's the right
His
place.
book is on page 10 only.
Are you with Mandaleshwar? Are you in the point of Japa Reflections and Meditations? Because I was still in Japa Reform Notebook section.
Yeah.
Is this where we're at, Prabhu? If you look at your screen for a moment, I shared the screen.
This is the one.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, Krishna
Okay.
Rama. Yep. It's just in the soft bound book. They skip
All
a
right.
bunch of pages, but it's the same place. Just says 22.
Oh Krishna.
Page
Oh
22.
Ram. Oh energy of the Lord. Hare, please engage me in your service. But then I reached a plateau and I thought, this is the vast intermediate zone. It stretches far and wide. It seems you can go on further than the intermediate zone. You have stopped committing the 4 sinful acts. Previously, you didn't even know that they were sinful. And you are bound by a strong vow to chant 16 rounds daily. But after making a certain amount of significant progress, even after being initiated by a genuine spiritual master in Parampara, after chanting for years, you are still inching along in the vast stretches of the intermediate zone. So you have decided you can go no further. Is it modesty that prevents you from aspiring to pure love of God? No. You are afraid of giving up material life once and for all. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your name? When will my voice choke up? And when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? When will the day come when I chant the holy names and not just my rounds, meditating on the second round, the third round, and the fourth round? Is to mix the pure sound of Krishna's name with the thought of an ordinary number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But these numbers are in themselves niyama agraha, following the rules without realization. Now I'm on the second round. Oh, this is the third round. What kind of chanting and hearing is this? How often do you say with foolish satisfaction, I got my rounds done, I finished chanting, or I did my rounds? But did you chant as Lord Chaitanya praised? No. You were too busy trying to stay awake, trying to keep your mind on the right track. Where was time for crying at the lotus feet of the holy name? You didn't finish chanting. You haven't even started. Chant humbly and pray for forgiveness for your offensive chanting and for a chance to improve. We can get out of the offenses in the intermediate zone by being very sorry to be there, be troubled, be bothered by it. Then you can reform. Even in the material world, reform comes out of intolerance and injustice. The reformer of labor, he protests and goes on strike. He fights. The holy name is the only way out of the material world. It is specified It is this specified mercy from the Lord. If we neglect the holy name, we're neglecting Krishna himself. How lamentable. If I do not take this mercy, I am worse than dead. I have knowingly drunk poison. I have spent my life uselessly. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night, my heart burns from the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I do not take the means to relieve it. Am I just going to sit here and let this happen? The Japa reformer fights against inattentive, offensive chanting. In the Padma Purana, it is stated that even a person whose life is completely sinful will be completely protected by the Lord if he simply surrenders unto him. So it is accepted that one who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes free from all sinful reactions. And even when a person becomes an offender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, he can still be delivered simply by taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord, the nectar of devotion. The name is not different from Krishna, but in this passage, Rupa Goswami makes a distinction. The nectar of devotion says that even if you offend the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can still be delivered by the holy name. So what's the difference? The name is a very merciful appearance of Krishna. So easily you can associate with Krishna. Nothing special is required, no austerities or rituals. The name is Krishna, however. Just as Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, but a very, very merciful Krishna. So Krishna becomes so merciful that if you approach him in this form of the holy name, everything is forgiven. If you offend the Lord, you can still be delivered simply by taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In other words, the chanting of Hare Krishna is beneficial for eradicating all sins. But if one becomes an offender of the holy names of the Lord, then he has no chance of being delivered. There is, however, a way to be excused of offenses at the feet of the holy name. Srila Prabhupada writes, while chanting the holy name of the Lord, one should be careful to avoid the 10 offenses. From Sanat Kumar, it is understood that even if a person is a severe offender in many ways, he is freed from the offensive life if he takes shelter of the Lord's holy name. Indeed, if a human being is not better than a two-legged animal, he will be liberated if he takes shelter of the holy name of the Lord. One should therefore be very careful not to commit offenses at the lotus feet of the Lord's name. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5, 23, 24 purport. Then Srila Prabhupada lists the 10 offenses. In his report, he states the 10 offenses, the 10th offense a little differently. Not to awaken transcendental attachment for the chanting of the holy name, even after hearing all the scriptural injunctions. If you are so dead that even after hearing all these instructions, receiving the holy name from your spiritual master, and practicing the chanting, if you still don't develop attachment for chanting the holy name, this is the 10th offense. Then Srila Prabhupada says, there is no way to atone for any of these offenses. It is therefore recommended that an offender at the feet of the holy name continue to chant the holy name 24 hours a day. Constant chanting of the holy name will make one free of offenses. And then he will gradually be elevated to the transcendental platform on which he can chant the pure holy name and thus become a lover of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is recommended that even if one commits offenses, one should continue chanting the holy name. In other words, the chanting of the holy name makes one offenseless. The book Nam Komudi recommends that if one is an offender at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava, he should submit to that Vaishnava and be excused. Similarly, if one is an offender and chanting the holy name, he should submit to the holy name and thus be freed from his offenses. One should be very humble and meek to offer one's desires and chant prayers composed in glorification of the holy name. Here in this prayer, Daksha made to Lord Shiva, and that we can also make to the holy name of our offenses. I do not know the glories of your personality, and therefore I commit an offense at your lotus feet in the open assembly. You were so kind, however, that you did not accept my offense. Instead, when I was falling down because of accusing you, you saved me by your merciful glance. You are most great. Kindly excuse me and be satisfied with your own exalted qualities. And Rupa Goswami prays in his Namastakam that one should be very humble and meek to offer one's desires and chant prayers composed in glorification of the holy name. O Harinam, the tips of the toes of your lotus feet are constantly being worshipped by the glowing radiance emanating from the string of gems known as the Upanishads, the crown jewel of the Vedas. You are eternally adored by liberated souls such as Narada and Shukadev. O Harinam, I take complete shelter of you. These are the kind of verses which you can pray to the holy name, with which you can pray to the holy name. If you make offenses to Hare Krishna, then it's to Hare Krishna that you must go for relief. You can't get forgiveness from your offenses to the holy name except from the holy name. Just like if you offend a person, then you have to approach that person for forgiveness of your offense. You have to actually feel remorse. Otherwise, we may say the cure for forgiveness, chanting, is to go on chanting. But you have to chant with the desire to improve. This is your way back to Godhead. You have to do it right. If that awareness doesn't enter your mind and heart, then it will not be very easy to change, to reform. Rupa Goswami has explained such reluctant chanting of the neophyte. He compares such a chanter to a man with jaundice. A man with jaundice, everything tastes bitter. But the cure of this jaundice disease is to regularly take the most concentrated sweet, like this rock candy. And even rock candy, the jaundiced man tastes as bitter. But as he takes and takes, then gradually his normal taste returns, and he tastes the sugar as sweet. So Rupa Goswami compares this to the neophytes chanting of the holy name. He says that actually the holy name is the sweetest of all things. It is sweeter than any taste of the material world. The taste of success and material sense gratification is nothing compared to the taste of love of God by chanting Hare Krishna. But because the neophyte devotee is still affected by material desire, the sweet name to him is also sometimes dry. But the cure is to regularly take this holy name, and that will return the spirit soul's original taste for chanting the names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The spiritual master knows this science of chanting. He is like a doctor to the ailing disciple and prescribes this chanting, Hare Krishna, so that the disciple can return to his normal health. By health, we don't mean bodily health, but the eternal state of health. The devotee can again attain his eternal spiritual body and be with Krishna in the spiritual world. That can be done by this chanting. So at this stage, you have to have full faith in the order of the spiritual master and chant Hare Krishna, whether you are feeling ecstasy or whatever. Understand that Krishna is his name and that he has come to you in his name as a great kindness. Oh my Lord, you have so kindly made approach to you easy by your holy name. And then go to that person, Nam Prabhu, whom you have offended, who is the only one who can save you, and ask forgiveness by chanting. There's nothing in the 14 worlds better than the chanting of Hare Krishna, says Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Admitting I am chanting poorly, please consider me fallen before you. I beg to be reformed by chanting Hare Krishna. Devotional service in the Krishna conscious movement affords us many facilities to serve Krishna aside from the chanting of the holy names. This fact doesn't diminish the glory of the holy name, but enhances it because the chanting is a key part of the whole devotional way of life. I had read about Christian monks who practiced solitary prayer, but they had no prasadam or deity worship or lively Krishna kirtan, nor did they have the benefit of such great nectarian acharyas of the mellows of love of God like Shukadev Goswami and 6 Goswamis and Srila Prabhupada. For the Christian monks, the practice of chanting was a clinging to the name and a world they rather impersonally viewed as all illusion. We also must utterly depend on the holy name, but at the same time, our restless natures can be purified by the soothing rays of darshan of their lordships, Sri Sri Radha Damodar, Sri Sri Radha Govinda, Sri Sri Gauranitai, and Lord Jagannath, and Sri Sri Radha Bihari. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, by taking the Lord's prasad, our senses are controlled. Whenever I take the remnants of prasad, I experience a new life. Similarly, Srila Prabhupada has said we require both diet and medicine. The medicine is chanting Hare Krishna, and the diet is prasadam. And the perfection of the eyes is to see the deity, and the perfection of the head is to bow before the deity of the Lord. Moreover, we are fully engaging our body, mind, and senses in our pure devotional service. Srila Prabhupada writes in the Nectar Devotion, in the Skanda Purana, it is said that those who are attached to ritualistic activities, the 4 orders of social life, and the 4 orders of spiritual life are considered devotees. But when devotees are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord directly, these must be Bhagavatas, pure devotees. I can keep going.
Prabhu, can you move the microphone up a little bit?
I'm almost finished.
Okay.
Srila Prabhupada has also informed us in the Nectar of Devotion that the chance to engage in devotional service is beyond liberation. A person who is constantly engaged in chanting the holy name and who feels transcendental being engaged in devotional service is never given just mukti, Adi Purana. It is a cause for real rejoicing that Srila Prabhupada has given us the full spiritual life in which to chant Hare Krishna, dressed as a Vaishnava, with only devotees as friends. We chant with expert guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. We chant Hare Krishna. While living in the temple Vaikuntha, we chant before and after seeing the deity. While taking Charnamrita, worshiping Tulsi, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, the topmost science of God, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And we are chanting the supreme name of God, Krishna. Thousands of other names of God equal only one name of Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the Sankirtan movement. We do not have to chant alone in desperate doubt. We have the support of enormous armies and fighting off the demons. We're not chanting in a world of void. We have been given the full manifestation of spiritual reality in which to prosecute the Dharma of the age. Then rise, tiny spirit soul, in gratefulness, security, and protection, and chant, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I don't know where we're at, but that was such a nice section for me. Let's see how bad I am. I'm always messing up something. I'm going to move that and hope that I'm still here. Yes.
Can you move your microphone up from beneath your chin?
Okay, Mother, am I back?
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry. When I chant Japa, I move it off my head. So I'm sorry. I hope you were able to hear. Were you able to hear while I was reading?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. So now we've just finished this section in the Japa Reform Notebook, and we're on our way. The first thing we had to do is acknowledge that our Japa is not right. The second thing, to make a commitment to change. That's what reform is about. It's about acknowledging the problem and making a commitment to change. So as we went through that section, the thing I was pulling out so much was that the holy name is everything. Everything we're looking for is there in the holy name. Srila Prabhupada is there to help us. Lord Chaitanya, his endless mercy is there. This isn't just some memorization that I'm telling you. This is a fact. But we have to take shelter. If we have a little faith that this is so, then we'll take shelter. Just as when something bothers you, when you're disturbed, when you've done wrong, when you're weak, you go to someone and sometimes you confess. Sometimes you air your heart, your mind, and you ask for forgiveness. You ask for help. Sometimes you just want to know how you can do better. So Nam Prabhu is there. He wants us to take shelter. This surrender that we talk about, when I joined the temple, I first came in 75, everyone would listen to Bhagavad Gita, and at the end of the night, hands would go up. And they said, I surrender. And they used to scare me because that meant they were going to move into the temple. And there was another person that was going to surrender. And I was thinking, I don't know if that's going to happen to me. I don't want to become like that. I was thinking, I like my Karmi life. Why can't I have both? And Rabindra Srupa, who was always in my ear, saying, boy, you want the sun and the moon at the same time. It's not going to happen. Surrender. But it is that good association which will help us. And the whole process of devotional life was shown here. You know, that we have their lordships. We have Prasad. We have Kirtan. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam. The different angas of bhakti are available for us. But it starts taking the holy name serious. Then Cheto, Darpana, Marjanam. All those unwanted things in the heart. You know, they become cleansed by the grace of Lord Chaitanya. So I got time for reflections and whatever else you want to bring to the table. It's your turn. Mother?
Yes.
You
Everyone
can deal with it.
Okay, everyone can raise their hands or unmute your mic if you have a question or comment. I have something to start off with anyway.
Okay.
So I've been thinking of, the reforming Japa and just reading everything today. And I kept thinking to myself, I can get in a couple of okay rounds, but then things just kind of go astray. I can focus for a little bit, but then the planning commission comes in or, I get distracted and I realize I have to go to work or whatever it is. So, I'm hoping that 1 or 2 good rounds is a start. If I can just try and get 1 or 2 good rounds in out of my 16, it's for me, that's what I can shoot for right now. Cause for me personally, to shoot for having 16 really focused, amazing rounds every day is such a big goal that I'm right now, all I can focus on is one round. Is that being too defeatist, or is that wrong? Because
No, it's being straightforward.
Okay.
It's being straightforward. Actually, you can break it down to just one Maha Mantra. If you could just focus on, let me just chant really nicely this one mantra. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Then you go to 2. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And stay fixed. Stay fixed in your resolve that you're just trying to chant one good round. And that one good round makes it so much easier. And before you know it, you chanted a whole round. You were trying to chant one Maha Mantra, one complete mantra, but now you've chanted a round. You said, wow, Krishna. And it is that focus. It is that determination. Don't forget the things you've learned. Don't forget, first chant Hare Krishna, then chant one Maha Mantra at a time so we don't become overwhelmed. Then keep the resolve, the resolution that I'm going to do this. My mind says, no, we got it. Let's go. No. One round. One Maha Mantra. Because one Maha Mantra turns into 10, and 10 turns into 100, and 100 turns into 108. And you got one round done. And you continue to go. You have 2 rounds done. Instead of counting the rounds, meditate on the mantra. Try to meditate on what we're doing. This is our time. We're in front of Krishna. We're calling him. We're petitioning him. He hears us. He sees us. Right now, I can make a difference in my life. It's not just what I'm going through now. I can change everything if I can call Krishna with some sincerity. If he believes me, he'll reconnect me. If Radharani takes pity on me, say, no. She's chanting good. No, help her. Give her some service. And I hear us talking about chanting, but I don't hear us talking so much about service. We're chanting, asking to be used, asking for service. We're chanting in a mood of service, and we need to be given service. It's not just that we chant and we think, well, I'm good at this. I want to do this for you, Krishna. No. You find out what the spiritual master wants. You find out what the temple commander wants, the temple president. Das das. You won't be cheated. Even if a person has has the mentality of exploiting you, you will be the winner because Krishna is in charge of everything. But the thing is, we have to become servants again. Please give me service. It's not that we can just approach Krishna. Das. Don't forget that. You're doing fine, Mother. Any other questions or comments?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dandot Pranam. So today it was wonderful. I was enjoying with hearing Prabhuji today. I was outside, so I did not chant, but I was enjoyed hearing. So today was my lesson for hearing.
Hearing is good.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So my point is, if it works, then it's about us becoming a little sincere. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to do. We're in the process. I'm taking your temperature. As you have more to say about this process, then I will understand that you want to change the trajectory of your life, that you found something or that you need something. Okay, I'm done here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Glory
Jonas,
to
you have
Shri.
announced.
Prabhu, I liked that class, Prabhu, that I just got from this. I want to say Krishna, oh Krishna Rama, oh energy of the Lord. Please Hare, please engage me in your service. That's what I want to just ask Krishna. And when will the day come when I chant the holy names and not just my rounds, meditating on the second round, the third round, and the fourth round. So that is very really got into my mind, and while chanting, I tried to do that.
Mother, this is good. Remember, our real situation is that most of us are here in Philadelphia. And my hope is that we can develop a syncreton party, a party of glorification, a party used by Lord Chaitanya, built on strength. If we can chant good rounds, then we can do so much service because Krishna is going to give us that service. As Krishna gives us service, we get to associate with one another. We get to feel, to taste the sweetness, not the jaundice. We taste the sweetness of devotional life. So I know the temple is closed right now, but we should be making plans on how we're going to serve, how we're going to glorify their lordships, how we're going to distribute the holy name. We're going to chant together, kirtan, japa. We make this, that's what's beautiful about the Sankirtan party. We're together. All the processes are included. So feel like that. You have an appreciation, you're asking, great. You're asking Krishna the right thing. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I have something to say. So
Yes.
my experience is that, when you start your round, because we are covered so much with ignorance and passion most of the time, so it's very difficult just to start with good round. You start your round no matter what. The more you chant, the more you feel, you feel the presence of the holy name. If you sincerely want to experience the presence of the holy name. That is my experience. The beginning, you just have to push yourself to get to that pure state.
That may be true, but even that you can change. When you go to see your child or you go to see your husband, you can be just familiar with them. But when you reflect on really the relationship, when you reflect on the fact that this is the object of my affection, if that's why before we chanted today, I said, let's calm down. And I talked about Krishna and the blessings that we're going to, before you chant japa, if you actually make yourself conscious of what you're about to do, I am about to call Radha and Krishna right now, right here. I'm going to be in front of them. And so this is my opportunity. If you see that we have no time to waste, that let me get myself together before I sit down. Let me sit up strong. Let me sit down nicely. I'm rested. Get me some water. Let me be ready. Let me concentrate. Hey, Radha. Hey, Krishna. Please use me. Please bring me closer to you. Please help me remember your name, fame, form, pastimes. Please use me. Hare Krishna. Oh, I'm so grateful to be in your service again. Please. So you bring your heart. If you bring your heart from the very beginning, you don't have to wait 6 rounds in. Because before you sat there to chant your japa, you were conscious. Krishna conscious means be conscious, be aware of who you're dealing with. You are dealing, any benediction that you could ever get can come when you sit down to chant Hare Krishna. What to speak of the benediction of pure love of God. Krishna said, Prabhupada said it can take many, many births or can happen in a moment. So the problem is we have to get association to keep us focused, keep us clear. This is your chance to tell Krishna, I want to reestablish a relationship. I know I belong to you. I'm sorry. I don't know how it happened, but I broke it off. Please use me again. Please empower me. So if we understand that prayer and we mean it, then when you get started, before you get started, it's okay. I'm getting ready to go see Krishna. I'm getting ready to be Radha and Krishna. Okay, calm down. Just like when I was a young boy and I used to pray. Before you get down at night, get on the floor and fold your hands, you think, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. You think, oh God, I'm so sorry for all the bad things I did today. You're used to talking to him. I know I did bad things yesterday too. I'm sorry. Could you please forgive me? That's a child. A child is like that. So as we grow, we're still spiritual like children, but as we grow, we realize that there's a person that we're really calling to. And we keep that in our remembrance. And put deep inside of you before you chant, very, very deep inside of you, what the mantra really means. Oh Radha, oh Krishna, all attractive Lord, please engage me. Please again use me in your service. Okay, that's it for me.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Haryasva Prabhu.
Thank you, Drona Prabhu.
It was very nice. So many wonderful points were brought up by Maharaj.
Next section's going to be good, so we better be ready.
The second to last paragraph, Maharaj talks about how we're not alone, and we have this army of empowerment behind us. And I think that's something always good to remember, that we're not alone in our chanting, even though it's between us and Krishna, but we have a whole parampara that we can connect to. We have the protection of devotional service, the many forms of devotional service that we practice, the association of devotees, the scriptures, everything. We have protection when we chant. That's so many deep points we could go on and on about, but that one I think will stick with me. Very nice. Invite everybody to come every morning to join our Sangha. I see some new devotees here with us today. Every morning at 7:50, we do a Srimad Bhagavatam class. So please join us, that's daily. Then tomorrow evening for our Sunday feast, we have part 2 of His Grace Amarendra Prabhu's lecture series on surrender. So please make sure you tune into that as well.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I ask a question?
Yes.
If it is not too late.
No.
Go ahead, Jagadish.
Yeah, in the book Reform Notebook, it says like if one becomes an offender of the holy names of the Lord, what does it mean? Like, is it like referring to the 10 offenses, or it is different from the 10 offenses?
Well, the 10 offenses will capsulate everything. It means the 10 offenses, but whatever offense you're making to the holy name of the Lord, whatever offense you're committing, then if you just continue to chant, it says, the chanting is so powerful. Just like Abhichet Sudaracharo, Manyatenwam Ananya Bunk, that, if one stays rightly situated, if he commits the most abominable action, if he stays rightly situated, he should still be considered saintly. That's in the Bhagavad Gita. So what Krishna is saying here, whatever offense you commit, and there's a lot, that if you just go on chanting, if you have a change of heart, acknowledging your weakness. Remember, there are 3 modes of material nature and 3 kleshas, and we're being whipped, pushed around. Krishna knows that. That's our karmic reaction. But if we say, today, I surrender unto you. Today, I take shelter of you, Nam Prabhu. I'm your submissive, your humble servant. Please engage me. Then Krishna hears that. So it's to change your heart. You just keep chanting. Whatever the offense is, it will change for you if you take shelter of Krishna. And just like he said, you go to the person and apologize, you go to the holy name. So, oh Nam Prabhu, please forgive me. Whatever offense you commit. That's pretty much it. I'm glad I got you out the background today.
Yeah, Prabhu, if even one has like material attachment, does it mean like he's offending the holy name?
You said what?
even if one has material attachment and he's chanting the holy names, like, does it mean like he's offending the holy name?
Yeah, yeah. To maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions. 10th offense. You know? Yes. Yes. But don't be just don't go take
Properly.
don't look just don't become fall into despair. We are materially attached. But the thing is, as we go on hearing and chanting, it doesn't mean that you can't use material things in the service of the Lord. You just have to let that attachment become an attachment to Krishna rather than material things, which are temporary, which will come to an end. The real attachment is to Krishna and to your service and to the order of the spiritual master. Let that be our attachment. So yes, it's an offense, but just keep chanting. The point, don't fall into despair. You say, I can do something about this because Prabhupada said so, Krishna said so. Therefore, I'm going to chant better. I'm going to take shelter of the process. That's all. It's late. Finish.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, mother.
Just on the point that he said about having material desire, akama sarva kamova moksha
Yes.
kama udaridi trivena bhakti yoita jijista purusam param. So even if you have material desire, if you have no desire, just keep chanting and it will all get rectified.
That's why I love you, Mother Sudevi.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Mother Sudevi is an old Sankirtan warrior. I tell you, she seems mild, but she's a tiger. Don't let her get on the corner with a case of books. I tell you. She doesn't just distribute them, she reads them and she feels them. That's why I love hearing from my sister. Thank you, Mother.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Drona.
We'll conclude here. Please accept my humble obeisances.
Vanchakoptarubhischa, Kripas Indubhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
So
Thank you, Mother. Mother Sita, don't
Hare
hold back
Krishna.
next time, okay? Show
I'm
up
sorry?
next time. Don't
Okay.
hold back next time. So next week, we're going to read, I'm going to do the next part, which is reflections and japa meditations. It's good. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.